I remember this one moment when I was in the gym changing rooms and I took off my jumper, and my friend just started laughing at me. He was laughing at how skinny I was. At that moment, I felt so like insecure. I felt so heartbroken because he was laughing at me. And I was like, I have to build muscle. I have to get the dream physique. So I don't want people laughing at me ever again. So I tried bulking. I tried getting big, but it went so badly. I gained a ton of fat and I just looked chubby after. But through all these mistakes and through all these errors, I learned how to actually bulk properly. I learned how to lean bulk and just gain pure muscle. And in this video, I'm going to break down the 4 steps that you need to take right now so you can do this too and you can gain muscle as well and build your dream physique. So the first step we want to take is we want to know what foods are actually right to build a muscle. As most people, they either eat way too many foods and they gain a load of fat, or they don't eat enough food and they don't gain any muscle at all. And I remember when I first started bulking, I would sit in my kitchen most days of the week just eating a pizza. I was eating a pizza because it was high in calories and it's easy to bulk with. But over months and months of doing this, I thought I was doing it right. I thought I was doing it correctly. I found I started to gain a lot of weight and I started to get heavier. But the problem was I gained a lot of fat with it. My belly got bigger, I got more chubby. I didn't gain just muscle by itself. I didn't just get in the physique I wanted. And this is where we want to apply this concept of quality over quantity. It's more important to eat the right foods every single day, the correct foods, instead of eating as much food as possible. And when I say the right foods, what I mean are whole foods, the foods that were made by Mother Nature. These are the foods that have been around for like thousands of years and the foods that like our caveman ancestors would have ate. So as you can imagine, there's a full list here, but it's like your meats, your vegetables, your fruit, all the natural foods of the world. These foods are so nutrient dense, they have every vitamin, mineral, everything we physically need in them to just be healthy and to just function properly and build proper muscle. As what I'd eat usually in a day is something like 6, 8 in the morning. I'd usually have avocado, salmon. I could have that with that. Then for lunch, I'd have maybe another 4 eggs with a steak. And that would just fuel my body and I feel very like healthy and very good. Then for dinner, I'd have like mince and sweet potato. I just have like basic foods every day, but they made me feel so good and they tasted nice. Then for snacks, I'd eat fruits, I'd eat nuts, I'd eat cheese. And this all just helped my body and helped me fuel my body correctly. As when you fuel your body correctly, you actually start to gain more muscle. You start to pack on muscle easier, and you just see more progress. So this is why we want to fuel our body with the right foods and start to eat the right things every single day. So the second step is having the perfect meal plan for each day. Is every single day, I used to just overcomplicate what foods I was trying to eat. I always tried to have this variety. I remember being in my kitchen and I had this like food planner of what I was trying to eat for the week. And I tried to mix it up every day. One day I'd have salmon, the next day I'd have mince, the next day I'd have turkey. Like I'd always just try and change it, have a different thing every day. The thing is, this led to such like decision fatigue, and I just didn't know what I was trying to eat on a day-to-day basis. I was always so like trying to decide, and it made it so difficult for me. So what I'm here to give you is just the perfect meal plan for what I found of how you can just lean bulk easily and you don't have to decide. As what we want this plan to do is we want the meals to be enjoyable, foods that you can actually enjoy, that you actually like and can stay consistent to. But as well as them being enjoyable, we obviously want them to hit your calorie goal. We want them to have about 2,800 to 3,000 calories in it. As to work out like your calorie goal and how many calories you need to burn, if you go on a calorie calculator, work out how many calories you burn, and then essentially you want to add about 300 to 400 to that. And we'll see that it's about 2,800 around there for the average person. So with this, I made a plan of what foods we want to eat. So 2,800 calories, and for first meal it's like 200 grams of beef with 3 eggs. It's not even an expensive meal, it's quite a simple meal. And butter as well, there's this tin foil butter that you can eat and it's so helpful. This first meal, you can swap the 200 grams of beef, you can swap it to steak, you can swap it to lamb. There's so many things you can swap it with. But then we come to the second meal, 250 grams of chicken thigh with 1 avocado. An avocado is just a really nice fruit to eat throughout the day, and it's just a simple meal again. This is easy to prepare, easy to cook, and it's actually cheap. Then for the third meal of the day, we've got 300 grams of beef mince and cheese. 40 grams of cheese. This is really nice with the cheese, and these are all cheap meals. As like the 500 grams of mince, that's about £2. That's all it costs. So it's not a lot for these meals. And the last one is 2 eggs and 100 grams of Greek yogurt. This one, we want the full fat Greek yogurt, as this has the highest calories in it and it's going to help us the most to build the muscle. But we also have the snacks at the bottom of just nuts and fruit. Throughout your day, you can snack on nuts and fruit. You can eat blueberries, you can eat almonds, you can eat cashews. Just snacking on these two things throughout your day. One, it can crave your sweet tooth, so you don't eat as much chocolate, you don't eat as much of the bad foods. But also, the nuts are so high in calories and they're high in protein. They're so helpful to have. So this meal, if you want to take a screenshot of it, this is just a perfect, good example. There's loads more examples. You can swap this around a lot. But this is going to help you out a lot. Is once you have this structure, all you have to do is really stick to it. All you have to do is find a way to be consistent with it every day of the week. And then you're going to see the progress. This takes us now to the third step. We know what diet we're meant to eat. We know what foods we're meant to have. But I just couldn't stick with it for the longest time. I just couldn't eat the healthy diet I was meant to have. As I always have this craving for pizzas, chocolates, all of that. So what we want to do is we want to simplify it. We want to make it very simple for ourselves and take one step at a time. What I mean by this is we start simple, we start basic, and we start to remove fizzy drink from our life. Just focus on this for a while. Focus on removing Coca-Cola. Focus on removing Lucozade and energy drink. Get rid of all the fizzy drinks and start only drinking water, milk, and coffee. Just have those 3 drinks and remove all the fizzy drinks. After a week, a couple of days, however long it takes you to make this habit of you only drink water, milk and coffee now instead of the fizzy drinks, you've built the habit, you're good at it, this is now your basics, you now know how to do this. So we move on to the next thing. Now we start to remove the snacks from our life. We stop eating chocolate bars, stop eating crisps, stop eating sweets. Instead we eat fruit and nuts and we add this to our life. And once we now know how to eat, we don't eat snacks anymore, instead we eat the healthy snacks. Then we can do breakfast. So we don't eat cereal anymore, we eat eggs. And then we can do lunch, we can do dinner. And we just slowly implement it. So you're doing one step at a time. You start with your drinks, then you go to snacks, then you go to breakfast, then you go to lunch, then you go to dinner. But you slowly do it. Taking this one step at a time means we can actually build the habit. We can get good. We can just make sure we're actually doing it right. We're eating the healthy foods every day. And then we actually see progress. We can actually stick to it and do what we're meant to do. As I always loved pizza. I always wanted pizza. I always craved pizza. So if I removed pizza straight away from my life, I'd crave it too much. I'd want it too much and I'd cheat on my diet. But instead, if I just left the pizza there, if I just didn't eat, I kept eating the pizza. I started to remove the cereal for breakfast. I started to remove the chocolate bars. I started to remove the fizzy drink. Then with time, I'd be able to remove the pizza. But we've got to remove the easiest things first, like your fizzy drinks, like your snacks and all this stuff. And then with time, we can remove the things we love. So here I just want you to understand to take one step at a time. Don't jump straight into it. Don't just go head first, as you will just fail. You will just fall. Instead, one thing at a time. Slowly add the water, the fruit, the nuts, you know what I mean, the eggs. And then with time, we'll build the habit. And now on to step 4, and it's consistency is king. As I couldn't build muscle for the longest time, as I just didn't have any consistency in my life. I thought I was sticking to the right things, but I wasn't. I remember where I used to do this habit tracker. Every day I ate clean food, I'd tick a box. I remember it was the end of the month and I was looking at this habit tracker in my room. I thought I did decent for the month. I thought I was doing pretty well. But as I looked at this habit tracker, I'm counting the days up and I realised I've done 6 days out of 30, out of a whole month. I realised how inconsistent, how I haven't actually done as well as I thought I did. And I've realised at that moment why I'm making no progress, why I'm making no muscle, why nothing's happening. Because I wasn't consistent with it in the slightest. I wasn't making any progress with it at all. So what I want to do with this last little step is we want to make a habit tracker. We want to make a habit tally so we can track how consistent we're being. So I created a little thing here, and it's called a habit tally. And essentially all we do is every day we every day we bulk, we can put a tally in there. Every day we go to the gym, we can put a tally in there. Every day we sleep well, we can put a tally in there. And we'll just do this. We'll just keep track of this over a whole month. And a whole month, our goal is to get 10 days of, so we can put 10 tallies in there. And that's 5, and then another 5. And if we can do that, we can see how consistent we're starting to be. We can literally look at our consistency levels and see how well we are doing. As without the consistency, without doing, making the progress, nothing's gonna work. Unless we're consistent, nothing works at all. So we need to be consistent and we need to push for it, and doing the habit tally is the best way to do this. As I remember July time, it was the summer, and I was doing this habit down. I remember looking at it and I didn't do 6 days anymore. I remember doing 26 days, nearly a whole month of just eating healthy foods, going to the gym, just doing everything correctly. And at this month, I was the most shredded I've ever been. I was in the best shape. I remember looking and thinking, I'm in like the best physique I've ever been right now. That's just because of the consistency of I was doing the right thing every single day of the week. So this is what we want for you too. For you to do the right thing every day. So you know what foods you got to eat. You know what's got to happen. You just got to do the right thing. So that was all for this video. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the description down below. Apart from that, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bash.